Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson Media. Today is a Thursday. As you know, we usually have a live show, and we are very lucky to have a brother of ours, a sitting MP from Kisumu County, North Nyakach. And I will give him a opportunity to introduce himself before we go into the discussion of today, especially about Sondu clashes. We want to discuss more about that. Being a leader, he might have so many information about the area. So, my brother, thank you very much, and may you just introduce yourself to our viewers.
Thank you, brother Ben. My name is Honorable Tom Nyaoke. Actually, the people know me as Reverend. So my name is Honorable Reverend Tom Nyaoke, member of County Assembly representing North Nyakach Ward. That is in Nyakach Sub-County, Kisumu County. Yeah, that is me now.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Member, for taking your time to be with us. First of all, I want to thank you so much, going out your way on your schedule and to just be with us here to discuss this issue that has always been with us. As you know, the clashes at Sondu Market has been there for almost 60 years, and each and every time it happens, we lose majority of the life is lost, and it's so painful to lose a life either from both sides because the people who are losing their life are very innocent, so maybe for to begin with, what is the current situation right now at the border?
Uh, Benson, the current situation now, I can say now it is calm. Apparently, towards the date that the head of state was visiting the Nyanza region, there was some kind of clashes at that particular time, almost at that time. But I can comfortably say that since then, it has gone down, and now everything is calm. There is no much because already the necessary security apparatus have been put there to make sure that nothing goes bad and that the normalcy returns. As we speak, there are people who are already going back to the market, although it is human nature that under such circumstances, maybe some other people will be scared, kind of, or take time to normalize, which is also normal in most cases. But we thank God that peace is returning
Oh,
at the moment.
okay, thank you. And I just want to bring you back before, before the head of state visit. There's kind of like a trend that we saw. Remember when the head of state was coming to for visit, especially during Thanksgiving for the PS Raymond Omolo, Dr. Raymond Omolo. Something of the such happened, and we lost like almost three at the border when the state was visiting. And this time around, when also the head of state was visiting, we also saw the same uh, clashes happening. Was there any connection between the clashes happening and the head of state visiting?
Um, Ben, the first one that is being said that happened during when the president was almost coming to Dr. Raymond Omolo's function.
Hmm.
That happened. Actually, most of it did happen in my ward at the border because North Nyakach also borders the Rift Valley or at the lower part, and then southeast Nyakach is bordering towards Sondu and the other parts. Um, we were there, Benson, and I think we all know how it started because that one was more of something to do with cattle theft.
Okay.
What normally happens, several cattle had been stolen from our side, and when they're stolen, they're taken on the other side.
Hmm.
Uh, of the county. And I can say it started like that. It had nothing to do with the president coming. That is as far as I know, because
Okay.
some of those people doing that, or those who are involved, may not have been aware that even the president was supposed to go to another function.
Mhm.
Now, in the second instance, also, I really doubt that, because we all know how it started when I think a Kalenjin was found on this side, and he was suspected to have been a robber. Because actually was found walking at night at about 11 o'clock. So the interrogation by the locals, where is he coming from? Where is he going? And, all those came up, they beat him up, and eventually he died.
Okay.
Benson, you will agree with me that really that one had nothing to do with the president coming. So it might have been a coincidence that it happened, but we cannot really justify that. Otherwise, who would bring somebody there to start walking on this side and then cause the killing and the questions? It really, people might think about that, but I really doubt if it had nothing to do with the coming of the president.
Okay, thank you very much. And so maybe our viewers would want to know this chaos at these ethnic clashes that usually happens. What actually brings it? What is the main cause of it? That in our history for the last 60 years we've had this for several times. Like this Sondu killing. What brings about this?
You see, and again, there's certain things that I'm also still trying to understand,
Mm,
because some of the politicians say it's about the border, but when you look at each circumstance, you find that the fight does not start by people looking or fighting about the border, or saying this is my land, this is your land, this is where the border is cutting this side. No, 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 it has never happened like that.
mm,
But when something happens, like for example, when some of our guys were killed, um, it was like kind of a retaliation attack,
yeah.
that they were retaliating on what had happened. Their cow had been stolen. Actually, one had been stolen, particularly the one that happened in North Nyakach. So they came to kind of retaliate because their cow had been taken. Although there was also reasoning that by the time one cow was being stolen from the other side, already we had lost about 50 to 60 herds of cattle.
Mhm.
So really, it is not, again, it was nothing to do with the border, because it is clearly known from our side. We know where our land reaches, but specifically in North Nyakach, we know where our land reaches, and we know where the land reaches. So there is no fight about that. We don't fight about that. And I'm telling you, um, our borders there, the people that we border there, we have been having a long relationship, because some of us, some of our people work on the other side. Some of them also work on this side, and some of them also buy food like omena, like these are the food stuff this side. We also buy potatoes from the other side and maize from the other side. We also work in their shambas. So really, I've not really come to a conclusion, or I cannot be able to read the same script that others may be already reading, to say that it is a border dispute. Now, in Sondu, even what happens, the issue of the border comes in after an incident has taken place. Then you find people now including the issues of talking about the border. But really, when something starts, when a problem starts, it does not start with the border issue, because nobody, you know, Sondu market is in such a way that we have got the side for the Kalenjins, and we have got the side with the Luo market this side. But you
Okay.
find that even our Luos traders also do a lot of trading in the Kalenjin side. They really don't have a problem with that. They go to that market knowing very well that that market is on the other side. But be it as it may,
Mhm.
the issue of that border is not very clear even to us, like which side really belongs to us and which side belongs to them. This has been a question for a very long time. And I think
Okay.
I
Yeah.
really don't understand why it has not been dealt with all that time, but there we are.
Okay. Now let me just bring you to border and the way earlier you spoke about being on your knowledge that nothing, the killings were not as per your information of coming off the head of state. Yes. But my worry was, especially with with the political class, yeah. Immediately when when such like incidences occur, or when such like clashes occur, the the statements they give are kind of like sometimes worrying. If I'm not going to mention name, but I can remember before us knowing what was happening, there was some leaders who were saying, "You are killing our people." Yeah, and you know when you say you are killing our people, and this was directed to the government or the president then, because like how is that one? So if they are the leaders, before we make such like utterances, we should find out the main cause before we come to public. What can you say about that?
Benson, that is why sometimes I'm a politician, but
Yeah.
sometimes I look at some of the statements my fellow politicians make, but I really wonder if sometimes we are in our right senses. Because, you know, what we speak and what we say, people can seriously take them to be the truth. And by the way, for you even to win in politics, you must make sure that the false, the lies becomes the truth. That is also how we survive sometimes.
Mhm.
But it comes, you know, when we were having even these clashes and so on, you will find that even people telling us, you as leaders, you should be number one, you should be in front, and then we follow. You see, but they don't understand the issue really around this. That when in terms of I mean security, there's a lot of things that you need to consider. Your being present there can even add more injury to what is already going on. So,
Mhm.
but we have a lot to do to create peace, to make sure
Mhm.
that calm is maintained. We have to urge our people, we have to restrain them. And I'm happy that when it happened in North Nyakach, we did mobilize the county security team led by the county commander, the regional commander, all of them, they came. We joined up together. I can remember we called even the deputy governor together. We went to the border. We talked to our people. We had a sitting with them together, and we told them the need for peace and coexistence to be available. And good luck, they understood. And I'm telling you, in North Neck and the other section, people, we have not had again such kind of I mean discomfort anymore. But sometimes politicians can talk. You know, when a politician talks, they weigh which side do they want really to I mean to be happy, which side do they want to make happy, you know. So
Yeah.
sometimes, because if you stop talking again, they think maybe you don't know what is happening, you don't want to support. But
Mm.
sometimes we do that for our own self-interest. You never know. But in cases of this, I really think that we must be very careful, because our words can worsen the situation or can restrain the situation. That is how I normally take it.
Yeah, thank you very much for clarifying that, because you know when we are dealing with a very sensitive situation like that, there are people who have lost life, there are mothers and fathers who have lost their kids, there are those who have lost their family members, and if you come and tell, okay, you are people, you are killing us, you know, it creates that, you know, like you want to repay you, it creates that
Mm,
ready to war. So
mm,
that is okay. But maybe because you are in the you are elected MCA, you are in the county government of Kisumu, any efforts
mm.
by two counties and the national government to do something that is going to create long lasting peace between these two communities?
Yeah, we are striving a lot to talk to our people,
Mm,
and I'm happy. Even the county administration, including the sub county officers, we do meet and talk with them. You must also be aware that quite a number of transfers were done, particularly to the anti-stock theft unit that we have.
mhm,
And I'm telling you, the new team which is there. Sometimes I make my rounds at around 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
mhm.
In the morning. I find them really outside there
Okay.
with their vehicles. I talk to them. They are doing the patrol, and in fact, the cattle theft has now gone down because now they can't pass the border. The border is completely watertight now, so
Okay.
there is nowhere. Even if you steal from the Luo side,
Mhm,
there is nowhere you are going to pass to the other side. Sometimes, I think in 2 occasions, we have witnessed some cows stolen from the Luo side, but because they could not pass with them, we just found them just tied somewhere around in our local area vicinity. So,
okay.
so I must also appreciate that our officers now are also working. The ACC, the DCC, we talk every other time to
Yeah.
advise on the situation. So generally, as we speak now, and then the biggest hammer was done by the president himself when
Okay.
we talked with him when he came. We brought to that attention. In fact, it came from the multitude outside there that we want you to address the issue of Sondu,
Mhm,
which he responded. And in fact, he gave his directive there that he does not want that stupidity to continue anymore.
okay.
And I think that is the much he can say. And then the people who are supposed to act have acted accordingly.
Mhm.
And up to now, we have not seen anything wrong that has taken place.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for that. So, these officers, the officers that were transferred, does it mean that the problem was with the officers? Yeah.
And there was some kind of laxity because it can't be that with the number which were present at those stations, then people just come steal every almost 60 herds of cattle being stolen, and nobody really understands how they are going or where they are being taken. And now we are seeing the difference now, the big difference after the posting of the new ones. They have actually stopped this thing, and even if you go around, you will find them patrolling. The other team before, you could not even see them anywhere. I mean, and things were just running amok. So I think, but the changes which were made really have yielded to some positive results. I can say that.
Okay, that's okay. And you talked a question that I wanted to ask you about the officers, and that way we okay. So and we you also touched on it, but I wanted to know who to be blamed, because who to be blamed for this, because at some point I mentioned about a leader saying you're killing our people, and at the same time there's also leaders who are saying like Sondu market is in our place. It is within our county. Yet at the point where you are saying this, there's a war going on. You know, so that is something that you talked about the leaders and politicians on how they do. But again, if you look at even what happened, because I believe one thing, that there is no way in which 20 youths, especially in classes, I'm not talking about this or any other, there's no way in which a 20 youth can just decide to collect themselves and take and say that we are going out to do this without some power behind it. That is something that I believe. You cannot collect almost 20 people. There must be somebody behind it.
Uh, well, Ben, that is true, as you can say, because a group of people cannot just come from nowhere
Yeah,
and make a group and start fighting back.
yeah,
Our people, this is also rumors that we hear that these people are, because even the guys that come and attack on this side, uh, the information that we cannot verify is that they don't come from around, from within our immediate neighbors. It
Oh,
is said that these people are transferred from almost more than 30 or 40 kilometers inside. So they are not the common guys that we know, because the young youths who are at the border, they know each other because they
mm,
play football together. Some of them go to the same schools, so they know each other. So there is not any possibility that they can now turn against themselves and start fighting. So the unverified information that sometimes we hear, people come that these people are transferred from one, they are being mobilized from other areas to come and help to fight back, which we also brought to the attention of the administration, particularly from our side, to contact the other side, the administration from the other county, so that if something like that is happening, why can't it be investigated and then the people behind it be taken, to task to explain why they're doing that? And I think that is also what the president made very clear, that he needs the investigation to be carried out on both sides, not only on the Luo side, but also on the other side, so
yes,
that if
yes.
there is some politicians who are feeling that, then they should be answerable. They should be taken to task, and they should face the full force of the law. That is what should take place.
Okay, that's okay. And maybe as an MCA, and maybe as an MCA who is in Kisumu County, and maybe your Kericho counterpart, are there things that or you put in place in a way that these two communities can work together to have that prolonged peace between them? Are there any things that you put in place, strategies and everything?
Yeah, we are. Even the youths themselves, we have had meetings, particularly with the youths from my ward. Um, Already they are preparing for some tournaments. This one is just to make sure that the youths that side and the youth this side, they meet together, they play together. I'm telling you, this one really works positively, because now if something happens, then in fact there's certain time that even the nearer our nearer neighbors, the ones who live near us, will tell us if there are some people who are already being prepared to come and fight back. Sometimes they come and say that, oh, can you be careful? Or sometimes they have seen some thieves, some suspected guys, figures coming from their side. Sometimes they call even this side and say, oh, please, today don't sleep, because we have seen some funny characters crossing our side. You see, that is the good relationship that we have normally had with them. And our youths are also trying to do the same. They are trying to come up with the tournaments that they are doing. We have got our
Yeah, okay. I think it's technology. Okay.
certain meetings, so that the peace meetings, so that we have the elders on the other side and the elders on this side. We can share a lot and see how much we can cooperate and to maintain peace between us.
Okay, that's okay. Now, maybe there's a every time when this clashes happened, people majorly talks about talked about the boundary issue. Do you think it is the right time for both county governments, that is Kisumu and Kericho, with the national government doing the boundary review so that we might know? Because I think documentation is there that shows where these boundaries are. So we can do the boundary review so we know that this is where our boundary is.
Um, Now, you did mention something like this border issue has been there for quite several years.
Mhm,
Now, we didn't start having leadership just the other day.
mhm,
We have been having leadership from those years that you have mentioned. Uh, but I think if it is felt that there is something to do with the border, then I think it should be sorted out. We have got the mechanisms to sort this issue out. We have got the county executive on both sides. They can sit down. They have got relevant departments that can be able to sort out this. If they cannot sort out themselves, then the national government is having the capacity and machinery to come and have a look at if it is the case of border, then what is the problem? You remember the other time we had a problem in Migingo.
Yes.
Some things are happening. The various team went there and they were trying to map out everything.
Okay, we think we still have like a connection problem. So maybe if you are watching
Uh,
us, okay, you on the comment section, you can send us your question to the Moshimiwa so we can get them answered, please. Uh, okay.
yes.
Okay, now we kind of exhausted things, the issues about Sondu. Now we want to come to maybe the trending things and things that are happening right now.
Yes.
Right now, there is this war between Palestine and Israel, and if you see, the world has taken um, different sides. Yeah,
Yes.
you find like the Arab, we call them Arab League, and Russia are supporting the Palestinian, and when you look at the European nations and the America are for Israel. What is your take on that?
Um, you see, it is very unfortunate that the world has to take that direction. Uh, what is important is, first of all, human life should not be lost under any circumstance, and each sides, be it the Arab world, be it the European world, they should be able to understand that now a situation where lives are lost like that, you can't count the losses of lives like to the tune of 1,000, 11,000, and then uh, I had I had Israeli boss saying that every living man um, in Hamas is dead. You see, that is really a very bad target to have, because all human life is should be precious enough. So I wish they could consider first that they should stop this unwanted human life that we are losing now. I've seen even small children dying like just like chicken, women being killed without any second thought. Men are just dying in anyhow from both sides. So whichever side it is not acceptable at all. So how I wish that both sides, maybe I don't know whether I can say God should prevail upon them so that they are able to understand that first of all they can't create life of any person. The
Mm,
person who gives life is only God, and therefore, taking a person's life, and particularly those who are not really, who are really not, who are just doing their own things to die like that. So it is
yes.
very unfortunate that both sides have to take those hard stances. I saw even Iran was supporting the other side, the Palestinians, and then US was also saying, okay, we also don't support this, we support Israel, but again, we don't like that support from Iran. You see, they want to support Israel, but again, they don't want Iran to support Palestine. So it is taking that dimension, which is not right
Yeah,
at all.
because like I think it might create. You never know. It might go a world war because it's like people have taken that. You mentioned about life being lost. Every life is important, despite the fact that you might not agree with. But like some who are dying are very innocent kids who actually do not know what is taking place. So that is something that the world should look into and maybe bring a long-lasting peace between these two countries. And
Sure.
another thing that is also I want to talk to you about, though it is a court had put an order in it about our men and women in uniform. They were supposed to be going to Haiti to stabilize that country to fight with the gang that is in Haiti. As a leader, what is your take, bearing in mind that even at in our country still we are we are struggling with the security issues.
Uh, really, I was also like looking at that. But you see, um it is not the first time that we are sending our forces outside the country.
Mhm,
I'm telling you, I don't know why at this particular point it is being seen as not the right thing to do, while at the same time we have got our forces also in Somalia under the UNISOM.
mhm,
If we are able to take them there, um, and sometimes I don't know whether it is voluntary or the people who are supposed to go to Haiti will be forced to go. But sometimes you would find that even our forces can also request that why can't you take us to go and work there? Sometimes it is possible that it is voluntary. If you want to go there, then you can list yourself, you go. But I am not privy to that either. But I'm still wondering why it can be thought to be bad, while at some point we had refused that our soldiers should not go to Somalia. But they ended up going uh, anyway. So sometimes uh, and I'm hearing they're supposed to be back here by end of next year, 2024. They are preparing to come back. We pray that they come back as they went. In case we have lost some, it might be because of just normal or bad luck also.
mhm.
So for me, I've really not understood very well why it should be bad and why it should be good as we speak now.
Okay, because like if you look at the public outcry, the public is kind of very resistant about it. But if you look at the Somali, the Somali one happened because the terrorists were attacking our, especially the Mombasa, the coastal areas, whereby they ended up even kidnapping the tourists that were coming to our country, and that was affecting our economy. That was one. Then, secondly, if you look at Kenya and Somali, we have the same border. But now, for the one for Haiti, you look at of all the African nations or African nations, like is only Kenya that is flying all the way from Africa to that area. Yet they say we don't have any connection with our borders. Then there's no business trade that we do with them. So why would it be that is only Kenyan military or Kenya
You,
uniform that are going?
sometimes we maybe uh, sometimes maybe it will be because they have seen how strong the Kenyan forces are, particularly why were we the almost the leading team in unison for that matter. So sometimes it may be because they have seen the effectiveness of the Kenyan forces. Maybe they train. You remember, I think most of the East African countries they prefer training, having their training for the military done in Kenya. So maybe it is because of some specialities, maybe the way Kenyans are getting trained and so on and so forth. And by the way, what I know is that even the Kenyan police officers are highly trained in Kenya. We have got very sophisticated training done to them. So maybe they may be looking at that. I don't know exactly why they chose on Kenya, but that one is maybe discussion for another day. But
Yes.
really, I don't understand. But I tend to think that maybe they have seen
Mhm.
the kind of training that Kenyan train their officers,
Mhm.
probably.
Okay, we are just about to end up just dealing with the things that the current issues that we have, and I know you're aware of the national dialogue team that is taking place in Bomas of Kenya, and there are so many things that came out. Very specifically, I want to be about the Cherera when they gave in their submissions,
Mm,
especially about um, the counting of the presidential results and the votes, yeah, on how they were not
mm,
verified.
mhm.
What do you think? because it was the same IBC that even conducted your election. And
Yeah.
if it was compromised, does it mean that even your election was compromised because it was the same body?
Uh, uh, Now this is the first time. I also contested in this my second time in 2022, and 2017 I also contested. So I have lost and I have won. Actually, now I have a lot to say about that. There are people who have contested several times. They have lost almost six or four or three times. But me, I have lost and I've won. So the presidential elections always in Kenya is really a different story. I don't know why even the procedure of election or the constitution cannot be amended to have only a presidential election done as only as presidential election. So the rest, like governors till down to the MCS, is done as one election, because that really brings a lot of questions. Because when the rest, some of us, when we get into office, then we still have presidential election being challenged in court, for one way or the other. Then all of us, we really don't enjoy. Some of us, we didn't even celebrate that we won our seats, because you don't even have that spirit. You even feel you have also lost.
Lost, yes.
But really, ours is okay. But then the tallying, ours is done at the ward level,
At the ward level, yes.
at the polling station level. Then maximum at the sub county we get our results. Now the presidential one still jumps the sub county, goes to the county, goes to the national tallying center. And by the time it is there, you don't know. You really, with us now, we have nothing to say about that, because already we have voted, we have cast our votes, we know who we have voted for. So now, as we sit to wait for the announcement, that is the big story that normally gives us issues. Um, but for us, it's okay. The governor going downwards, I don't think there's much of an issue. The issue is really only on the presidential election.
And maybe if we might borrow a leaf, because I usually see, especially for like United States, whereby when we look at the Senate and the House of Representatives, yeah, they usually have like this cycle whereby like the Senate goes for six years, but they don't run concurrently in each and every state. You might find, for example, like Kisumu, let's say like Kisumu County, when a Kisumu County Senate maybe he's in his fourth year, you come to Kericho, the Kericho one is doing his fifth year. So their election do not run concurrently like Kenya, whereby we do election for president and everybody. So I think if we can do it that way, so that even we will be doing a presidential election, we might do presidential election maybe with only two senators and maybe maybe three MPs,
Oh,
and
yes, yes, yes.
that one can cure this rather than doing the entire thing like presidential. Because just imagine you have like six people, for instance, voting for president until to the MCA,
Mm,
and you give
mm,
them all the ballot papers.
mm.
But when it comes to counting, you will find out the governor has scored more than the president in the same county, and all these people were given this paper. How does that one happen?
That can happen. Politics is there's a lot of things that takes place. There's a lot of confusion. Some people survive in those confusions. Some people struggle really to get the right thing done. But nevertheless, that is how politics is. Uh, some people would not want straight things to happen, uh, like maybe saying, "Can we have one day electing only MCAs?
Yeah.
Then the next day only electing governors. The next day electing senators." If you bring that suggestion, there are people who say, "No, no, no, no. We just want every election to be done in one day," so that they thrive in that confusion. So sometimes that is how things are. I think our constitution, the latest constitution of 2010 constitution, did what they did, and now to change this one, maybe later on in future we can be able to amend.
Yeah.
What can be separated seriously, I think, if we even go back to ask people, it is the presidential election. That one should be separate.
Yeah.
But again, not so many people will support that, because if I want to become the president, I want the situation to be much confusing as possible, so
Uh-huh.
that I see a way of getting in.
Okay. Okay. Before we wind up, I just want to bring you to Luo Nation, politics of the Luo Nation. I hope you are aware, and I you are part of it, because I was in March. I was going through a paper, and you are one of the leaders who are mentioned to be working with the government without your party approval. And later your name was I think it was Daily Nation on March. Your name
Mm,
was
mm.
there, and you are termed as enemy of the community. What is your take on that?
Mm, my take on that is that you know, for me, I really don't worry much, because I know how it started.
Mhm,
This being becoming an enemy, but it's only that people are now learning why really we are not enemies.
mhm,
Because the reason why we got this branding is because of the difference we had when we were electing our assembly speaker,
mhm,
where we of course, if there was no competition, then we should have been directed that, okay, we have this speaker, you like him or you don't like him, he has to be the speaker. We should have been told that. But because it was left, to be for us to choose the speaker of our choice, and we had got contestants, those who contested for that.
mhm,
The problem is came about because the speaker we voted for is not the current speaker, and I think the people who are uh, behind that, they didn't really tell us much to do about that, the issue of the speaker or the preferred candidate. It
mhm,
was left for us to choose. But behind the scene, there was someone who was supposed to be the speaker. So there we are being blamed for no apparent reason, because nobody came to tell us that this is the speaker we want.
mhm.
The governor didn't tell us this is the speaker we want. Even Baba himself didn't tell us this is the person we want. That is the truth of the matter. That is how it was. So there it was. We voted, and once the speaker was elected, I remember I went to the speaker and I told him, now already you have won, and it is now your humble duty to unite the assembly, those who voted for you, those who did vote for you, unite us so that we can become one, and let us execute the reason why we have been elected to be in this assembly. That one was my honest opinion, and
Okay.
that is what I gave. So it is really up to the speaker to unite. It is not now up to us to unite the assembly. Whether the assembly is unified or not, really, that is not now our, as members' responsibility.
Okay. I know
But
in
people now understand. They do understand the origin of that, and
okay.
the people who are behind saying, "Oh, we are against the party and what have you," they know. I'm a serious party member,
Okay.
and I'm out. And 2027, I will still contest in an ODM ticket,
Okay.
and that is how it is.
Okay, I know in Kisumu County there is one independent candidate that was elected. Yeah. So
Mm.
as a Kisumu County, it's based on the county government. So Kisumu County is ODM government. Oh, yeah, because like
Yes.
the ODM as a party control the majority of elected members. Now,
Mhm.
who is putting you on check, especially who is putting the government on check, since we only have one independent candidate and whom I think also sometimes supports the government. So who puts you on check, especially the county assembly?
Mm, that is really a very interesting question.
Mm,
Who puts the government on check?
yeah.
And apparently, all of us there for government.
Yes.
So we just move that way. That is how we are moving. We are just government. Nobody is checking because even the independent candidate is a strong ODM member. You see, so there's nothing to check there. That's the way we are moving. Anything comes, we just move and go ahead.
Uh,
Yeah,
okay.
because even you and even I don't even understand because the same question is
Yeah.
here is a situation where somebody says we left ODM and now we are supporting the government,
Yeah.
and you come back to assembly, the
Yeah.
motion is brought, we are all pro that motion,
Definitely.
we argue the motion, we
Mhm.
support the motion.
Emotional.
You know, you can only say that somebody has left the party if you are not supporting the motions of the government.
Mm,
Like for example, if the majority leader who comes normally presents the issues of the government, maybe the motions of the government, and then we say now, because now I've been removed from ODM, now let me just don't support this motion. We don't do that.
mm,
We support. In fact, some of them they are never there. But with us,
mm.
we are there. We support the motion. We argue about it. We see the pro and the cons. We see the recommendations. We give our recommendations, and we continue like that.
Okay. So, which means in Kisumu County as a government, we don't have opposition. So, what if what if,
There is no opposition in Kisumu
so
County.
what if the government, the government side, maybe because this usually happens in most of our political landscape, they don't follow the procurement law, yet you've been whipped. So who is going to keep you on check? And maybe for the people of Kenya, especially for the good people of Kisumu, who is going to keep you on check if something is going wrong?
You see now, a scenario in Kisumu is very special. That
Mm,
if you see something is wrong,
mm,
and you pinpoint that issue out,
mhm,
then you automatically become a UDA member, sympathizer.
mhm.
And again, the electorates will also follow that and tell you, hey, now we took you to the assembly, now you are following you. You see, so the best thing is to leave them. Because if you support, even the electorates will be happy with you. Even if you support a wrong thing, as long as it is for the ODM, then there is no problem about that.
So,
Apparently.
so Mheshimiwa, then I think like something that should be done, especially with the electorate. There is something that we call public participation to know of the processes of political processes. What is required me
Of
as
them.
an electorate? What is required of me immediately after electing you to be part of the government? Because what usually happens is this: immediately you are elected in the party, when you go to the county assembly, when you swear with that Bible, you don't swear by the name of the party. You swear to protect the constitution of the country and maybe of the county assembly. You become state officer. The salary you're getting is from the state. So it is your responsibility as a leader to take care of the state resources, but not to to get be kind of like fear of what the party is going to say. Because if the money, maybe for instance, you are losing money just because you fear that you will be branded by a certain name, then the people are not going to get the services. So who is losing?
The same people are losing. And I'm telling you, the same people will be on your neck. Why you are against the government motions and what the government is doing. You
Mm,
don't want to let the governor in peace to do.
mm,
So, what you have mentioned, our people still don't know the reason why they are electing. So, I mean, most of them don't know why they're electing us. If you tell them that you are really up to taking care of them, you see, even during that time, we were being branded
Mm-hmm.
as pro government or pro UDA.
Mm-hmm.
I had already reinstated about 45 boreholes in my ward. The dead boreholes in my ward, 45 of them, not from the county government.
Mm-hmm.
Those ones are just from my friends. I mobilized private funds from
Mm-hmm.
my friends to do that. But that one made them not to see that even if it is development, as long as you're not supporting ODM, kana development yako. You see, so you look at it,
Uh-huh.
then you find that even our people
Mm-hmm.
still don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But they are very smart. When it comes to the next election,
Mm-hmm.
they will not ask you how the relationship has been with the party. They will ask, what have you done to us?
Done. Yeah.
You will not say that, you see, when I've been clapping in the assembly, I've been supporting the motions. Either they don't understand. Where
Uh,
are the roads you told us you are going to do? Where
mm-hmm.
the water, where is
Mm-hmm.
the water you said you are going to do? Where is the school, the ECD classes, with the hospital? What have you done? By then they will be asking you.
For that. So, which means you have to
But
work
but
hard.
but for now, for,
Uh,
for now,
uh,
they really don't care what you are doing. But I know
uh,
there comes a time that they will ask
uh,
those questions.
one of our viewer is saying this: not supporting
Mm.
the motion, not supporting the motions does not mean you've left the party. That is his the viewer comment.
But that is the meaning. Right?
Yeah. Then another one is saying the people's interest should be first, the party interest second. Hello. Okay, if you have something, maybe a question you want to send to Mweshimiwa before we close the show, you are highly welcome to do so. Let me give shout out to the following people. Brenda Obedi, thank you so much for being in the show. Bernard Doindo, thank you very much. Donald Kimaya, Nyanza exclusive, thank you very much. Mr. Kenyan Revolutionary, thank you so much for supporting our channel. You've been with us for the longest time. Thank you so much. And maybe we have technical issue with the internet from Mweshemiwa side. Hopefully he will come back. Let's wait for him. Maybe he can come back and say his last remarks before we close the show. So maybe if you have any question, maybe you can send it so we can um, so he can respond. Anybody with a question who is watching, kindly send your questions, especially concerning what we've talked about. We've discussed so many things, starting from Sondu. Hello, Muesh.
Yes, I'm back. I don't
Uh,
know why I got lost.
oh, that is the internet because I was just waiting for you. Anyway, those are the comments of our viewers.
What was the comment? I didn't get any comment.
The one comment was this: not supporting the
Mm.
motion does not mean you've left the party.
Yes, that is someone who also does not know what takes place in the assembly.
Yeah,
In Kisumu assembly,
yeah,
it is not like any other. Kisumu assembly is a bit unique.
yeah.
As you said, all of us are ODM members, including the independent candidate.
Yeah.
Is now an ODM member. So the issue of not supporting any motion, I'm telling you, that is automatically shows that you are a UDA sympathizer. In Kisumu assembly, that is the total meaning of it, whether you like it or not.
Okay, there's also another one that says the people's interest should be first, the party interest second.
Very well, absolutely, absolutely. But in this case, the party interest in Kisumu is paramount. Don't talk about people.
Uh,
First, the
the
party
party.
interest is very important. That one,
Uh,
even anybody, everybody knows.
Everybody
Party is
knows.
number one.
Party is number one.
Party is number one. Mm.
Okay, Mweshimiwa, thank you so much for taking your time to be in our show, and we are very grateful. Maybe your last remarks to our viewers.
Um, Are there our viewers, and as I suppose I want to address also our electorates,
Yeah.
that you give us an assignment for 5 years. We, particularly myself, I don't want to talk about the next 5 years. I just want to finish five, and by the end of it, you should be prepared to ask me, what did I do?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how I deal with the party, that now is my problem. But your problem should be, what am I delivering for you? What are the services that I'm bringing for you? That is why you have sent me to that assembly,
Mm-hmm.
and you wait for the results. I promise that I should be having the answers before 2027.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. And
Thank
may
you.
God bless you for taking your time to
Thank
be
you.
with us. And for everyone who has been with us, thank you also for your time. And next week, we'll be having one of our leaders again. So just tune in and let's discuss and make especially the Luo Nation great. Thank you so, so much.